Welcome everyone. Today we're going to talk about a tax haven that nobody tends to discuss, but should probably be on your list if you're looking for places to relocate to. So when people reach out to me, one of the things that I kind of have is this laundry list of possible places with favorable taxes, because that's very often what people are calling for. They're saying, hey, listen, where can I relocate to that I'm going to get favorable tax treatment? And then there's obviously the factors of lifestyle and time zones and all the different things that might matter to you in terms of what it is that you like. And some of them are, well known. You think about Caribbean islands, you think about UAE, etc. But then there's a bunch that people don't think about. And so in the future, I'll do a video on all the different places that commonly come up as like, okay, here's a list that you can kind of consider to choose from. But today I'm going to talk about one in particular, and you might not have thought of it. And whether it's right for you or not is maybe a bit of a different conversation. I will talk about residency options in that country in a future video. But for now, let's dive in and discuss this particularly special place that works for a lot of people, not all, but a lot. So let's dive in. Before we do, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. I'm Michael from Offshore Citizen. We're some of the foremost international tax and relocation experts in the world. And if you're interested in help with doing business abroad, setting up foreign companies, getting bank accounts, residency permits, citizenships, optimizing your global tax, etc., please reach out to us. You can book a call with me, calendly.com/Michael-Rosmer, link in the description below, or send a message through offshorecitizen.net. So what is that country? Well, it is the country that we're in right now, which is the Philippines. So if you look, we are in Palawan, in an area called El Nido, a very beautiful part of the world. If you were looking out and you were trying to guess where it is fairly similar to parts of Vietnam, places like Ha Long Bay, parts of Thailand, etc. So you kind of see the limestone islands that have been formed from there was actually mountains, and then it's essentially been eaten away, and what's left are these islands that kind of stick out of the ground, and there's beautiful lagoons and things like this. So definitely a place that's worth visiting and checking out just from a tourist standpoint, but today we're going to discuss it from the standpoint of tax. Now, I'm not going to do like a deep dive into the tax rules in Philippines like I might do in some of them, and in the future maybe I'll do one on this, but I'm going to talk about one thing in particular which is really useful for you if you're looking for a place to go, and this is related to how they define tax resident status in Philippines. So it's one of the most complex in the sense of the categories that you can participate in. So if you were to look up, you might say, oh hey, well, from what I can tell, Philippines is a worldwide taxation system with the highest rate being 35% on the progressive scale. This seems like a terrible place to go, and that is sort of true, but it's also sort of untrue. And the reason for this is in Philippines, you can have one of 5 categories. The first is a resident citizen. Second is a non-resident citizen. Then you can be a resident alien. Then you can be a non-resident alien engaged in trade or business, or a non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business. And so that's a lot of different categories. For our purposes, the most important thing to note is that the ones who are non-citizens, so citizens, yes, are taxed on their worldwide income. Everybody else is only taxed on their Philippine source income. And this is a huge advantage. This is actually, by the way, like a pretty broad exemption. So to the extent that you're in Philippines working, yes, you're typically going to be taxed, and you can get into there's various different types of exemptions, and whether you define whether you're engaged in trade or business or not, all these sorts of things, like that's like a more complex analysis that I don't think we really need to spend so much time on here, because the really important part is the territoriality of this tax system. So you can really easily take advantage of the territoriality. What does this require? It requires that you're A, earning income while you're working outside of the country, or B, you have investments outside of the country that you're earning income from. And this actually fits well with some retirement visa options in Philippines that have been fairly attractive. You're talking about generally low cost of living combined with really friendly people, high level of service, combined with great retirement visa options, combined with great tax treatment. Philippines has the advantage of the fact that it has a pretty decent network of tax treaties. It's never considered to be a blacklisted tax haven jurisdiction for people, but on the other hand, can clearly give a lot of people a basically 0% tax, depending on how you're able to structure your income. So most of the time, it's for people who can structure their income through a business. Mostly, it's not for somebody who, well, certainly not on like a job assignment in Philippines, but typically not somebody who's reliant on their own work for these solutions. This being said, if you can have money from a business and you can receive dividends, if you can receive foreign capital gains, if you can receive foreign interest, if you can, all these different things, that can all be tax-free, so long as you're not a citizen. And there is a new golden visa in Philippines. I'll maybe talk about it in another video as well, that actually leads to citizenship, which is kind of interesting, but with some negatives associated. So most people actually probably wouldn't want to go for it, but it is interesting in those cases. So yeah, if you're interested in this or any of the other programs, please reach out to us. You can book a call with me, as I was mentioning, and we're happy to go through like the specific details for you, because everybody's situation is different. There's no one size fits all. What I always tell them is, treatment without diagnosis is malpractice. And so very, very important to not say, hey, here's the solution, like a lot of people do, but instead to say, well, let's understand your situation, based on your goals, figure out what is the best solution for you. And Philippines might be a place for some people that they're interested in looking at. So if you're interested, please reach out to us, and I will look forward to seeing you on the next video.